Who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
Doesn't want to be known, but if you want to find out, I mean, listen, everybody knows who was involved back then. In history,
Right.
Google.
Right.
John McAfee always claimed he knew who Satoshi was. In fact, he claimed many people knew. And yet somehow the creation of Bitcoin and those involved have remained a mystery to this day. You see, we've been asking the wrong question the whole time. The question is not who is Satoshi? The question is who guided Satoshi? Let's get it. I'm not a financial advisor. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben, and yes, I'm the guy who has the sources and the information the other channels don't. In this two-part series, I'm going to lead you down a path in Bitcoin's history. It's dark history that no one else is talking about. But BitBoy, I heard the NSA created Bitcoin. Everybody knows that. Okay, cool. We're going to talk about that today, but just wait until tomorrow because the epic conclusion of this series is going to leave you shocked. I promise. I'm going to tell you who I believe Satoshi is and who directed him/they, or maybe she. If that sounds good, like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss tomorrow's banger of a video. Now let's map out the NSA theory for Bitcoin. We need to lay the groundwork so you understand something first. Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, was not the first person to create a digital currency based on cryptography. I don't really have time to go into all of the other digital assets before Bitcoin, but you can check out this video above later to catch up. So here's the big spoiler, guys. I'm going to go ahead and give you the NSA theory today. And there is certainly a chance the NSA Research played into the creation of Bitcoin. I believe it probably did. But I also believe someone else other than the US government made that call. Remember at the beginning of the video when John McAfee said this?
I mean, listen, everybody knows who was involved back then. In history,
Right.
Google.
Right.
Everyone knew who was around. Everyone knows the people involved in the beginning of Bitcoin. It's not a secret. Hal Finney, Nick Szabo, Adam Back, heck, even Julian Assange. These were players in the group known as the cypherpunks. The people who believe the cypherpunks created Bitcoin, well, they credit them as creating something awesome, something free, something out of their or his or her own brain. It's a cool anti-bank message coming out of the anti-bank period. Almost perfect timing, almost as if it was planned.
My personal belief, especially after reading the 1996 NSA, which is a government agency white paper on how to create a mint, is that Bitcoin was the Trojan horse. And I don't think it was a coincidence that it came out in January of 2009 and quantitative easing started in March.
Wait a second, I think I missed something.
After reading the 1996 NSA, which is a government agency white paper on how to create a mint.
Okay, we have to go back to this. In a moment, economist Lynette Zhang is going to explain to us why the US government would want to create Bitcoin. But what the heck is she talking about here? A government white paper? What? That's right, guys. It was right there in front of us the entire time. A recent article highlighted this digital antique. How to make a mint, the cryptography of anonymous electronic cash. In 1996, the US government released a white paper entitled How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electronic Cash, released by the National Security Agency Office of Information Security Research and Technology. This document basically explains how a government agency could create something like Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency. So now that we know this insane document exists, let's go take a look at how it compares to the Bitcoin white paper. Here's the actual document. Electronic cash system, multiple spending issues, required to prevent double spending, privacy, verifications and deposits, payment verification, digital signatures. And these are just a few examples. It's all throughout each document. They're almost the same document in a lot of ways, just worded differently with different implementation, specifically with the proof of work blockchain. Okay, this is getting a little freaky. A little more on the NSA report. A 1996 research paper by the agency outlined a cryptographic system remarkably similar to what Bitcoin uses, leading to wild speculations. The concept of secure anonymous digital currencies was clearly on the government's radar long before Satoshi Nakamoto presented Bitcoin to the world. The paper, titled How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electronic Cash, detailed methods of minting and managing digital money, sparking discussions on whether the foundational technologies of Bitcoin were inspired by earlier work from the NSA. However, none of the references are the same. That's weird, isn't it? It's a who's who of cryptography, but zero crossover. Okay, so we've established the NSA definitely had the idea for Bitcoin at least 12 years before it was conceived as a white paper on Halloween of 2008. But you also have to know this information was compiled over time for this report. So they could have been working on something like Bitcoin 15 years before the first block was mined. So the question is why? Why would the government do this? Once again, here's Lynette to level with you.
They need to have things look as normal as possible so that you don't know that anything has changed when in reality, everything has changed.
That seems a little cryptic, so let me explain to you exactly what this means. Tokenization was the plan. Moving world citizens onto one digital currency has been the plan for a long time, at least since 1971, and many people would argue since the end of World War II. It's all about control. You can't hide money from the government when it's all on their private blockchain. They can see and you can't. If I explained this to you in 1996, you'd have been like, WTF. You barely knew how to use a modem to get on AOL back then. And you see the government, the NSA, was already living in the Matrix 4. So they slowly created this thing called Bitcoin out of a giant banker-led financial crisis to be the anti-bank. And by slowly created, this would have been by implementing the cyberpunks to do so, not the government itself. Another story, another video tomorrow. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Over the next 15 years, Bitcoin rips. People get rich and people get used to the idea of tokenization. Everything you own on a blockchain, maybe one, the government controls, like a CBDC. The one they say isn't coming. Starting to see it yet? If you don't today, I promise you're going to tomorrow. I'll see you then. Be blessed. BitBoy out.